All right, it looks like we are live. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. All right, so this is my second attempt at a stream, so let's find out how this goes, if anyone's even watching. So there's been a big change over at DC Comics, and I thought it might be a good idea to address it today since it's fresh. And speculation's running rampant. So it looks like Dan DiDio is out at DC Comics, and it happened on a Friday. So that means that this was meant to probably be slipped under the rug. Thought it might be a good idea to discuss this. So let's see what we've got. Now, most of the news is very, very speculative, like I said. So this article is from Bleeding Fool. It seems to be one of the better articles. DC's longtime co-publisher Dan DiDio is no longer with the publishing company, DC Comics. They confirmed it today. Now, you may remember that Dan was the brains behind the New 52, which started out a little strong and then just tanked horribly. There were a lot of really dumb ideas in there, but he's kind of obsessed with the nuance and tends to not see the forest for the trees kind of thing. And he also was in charge when things collapsed at Vertigo. Now, the Black Label line was a really good idea. So whoever came up with that idea, good job. And I'm betting that Dan probably hadn't something to do with that. But the last few years have been pretty bad for DC. There's going to, of course, blow some smoke up his butt. But, yeah, really didn't go quite as good as he wanted it to. He joined in 2002 as a vice president for editorial and a writer on Superboy. Key voice of growth in the mid-2000s. Yeah, I wouldn't say that a lot of that growth was good. Like, yeah, the company was growing, but then things started to kind of shift because New 52 made everything all dark and depressing. The heroes didn't smile anymore. It just kind of got sad and turned into a Zack Snyder film. And they seemed to really like that for a long time under his reign. And I don't know why, because it was a terrible idea. Then they did reboot with Rebirth, and that actually did pretty good. There were some other ones that were in there too that were pretty good. Some of the Free Comic Book Day stuff was good. But now they're going toward this 5G thing. And if they're letting Dan go right before that launches, that actually concerns me a little bit. I personally did not care for the way Dan DiDio treated legacy characters. The whole Rick Grayson thing, where Dick Grayson can't remember who he really is. And what they did to Wally West was an abomination. Not only did they replace him with diversity hire Wally West, they brought him back just to turn him into a killer. So you've got diversity hire Wally, who's now official Wally. And then you've got the original Wally, who was actually around for a lot longer than Barry was. And since they brought Barry Allen back, they didn't know what to do with original Wally West. So when they brought him back, they just killed him off, effectively making him a murderer with that moral ambiguity tale of identity crisis. And that was just a travesty to the character that was a hero for a long, long time. It's disgusting. So I'm not sad to see him go. He did bring Bendis in. Under his reign, we got Kelly Sue DeConnick on Aquaman, which was disgusting because Dan Abnett was doing a fantastic job on Aquaman. And then it just got all this weepy, emotional, navel-gazing crap under Kelly Sue. And that was really irritating. And it hasn't been good. And he also ushered in the new Vertigo line, which was garbage, like I said. And it destroyed the legacy of Vertigo. It became this political hotbed of social justice. And it was awful. Which also did bring in Zoe Quinn. Hey Six, how you doing? Yeah, so when Zoe Quinn joined up, I knew something was horribly wrong over at DC for sure. It wasn't just, well, they have a few bad books. No, it was just a deep-rooted infection. So the fact that she got more work after she was part of the abomination of New Vertigo was really insulting, and that book was just as bad as her goddess mode stuff. I don't think she is an awful writer. She's probably got some potential there, but I find her loathsome as a human being, and the editors clearly weren't going to do anything to help her with her book. Oh, hey, what's up, man? How you doing, Mike? So, uh, yeah, I'm of mixed feelings on this. His departure might be him jumping ship, knowing AT&T is going to do something drastic to the line, or that maybe the company will fold if 5G fails, and he knows that his last several ideas were so bad that it's going to crash into the rocks, to keep with the ship analogy. So yeah, I don't know. I don't see this necessarily as a good thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad that DiDio's leaving, because I think that he really got caught up in the weeds and did not understand a lot of uh, the fans and the way the fans would react to the changes that he made. He wanted to go in a specific direction, and it wasn't a direction the fans wanted. And I think he's kind of a shit person too, for that matter. But this could be the herald of very bad things for DC. It depends who they get in here to replace him. If they don't name someone, DC's probably done. That means that they're downsizing and they're planning on closing up shop. I'm, of course, speculating. I have no insider information or knowledge, but that's just what I've seen of having been in companies with mergers, like what's happening with AT&T acquiring Warner Brothers. They start cutting the chaff out, and DC wasn't very profitable last year. So, oh my God, no, you take that back, Mike. If they make Bendis the CEO or the publisher, no, it's done for sure. Bendis has done nothing but screw this up the entire time. He's been awful on Superman and the Legion of Superheroes. Oh, garbage. So I think this is very bad. They already did layoffs, as you can see on the screen. So I'm not surprised that he's leaving. Oh, look at that smug grin. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know. If they get Jeff Johns, we've got some hope, I think. I don't know who else would be in there, but this is sort of like a coach for a sports team. You have to have somebody that knows the industry. And if they put in somebody that's just politically driven, like they get their own version of Sana Amanat, then DC's probably going to just fall right through the floor. I don't know if they're going to shut it down or not, but yeah, the 5G thing is really going to make or break DC from what I'm thinking is going on. I don't know who else they could get other than Jeff Johns that would actually be reasonably qualified, unless they dust off some old timers like they've tracked down Jim Shooter or somebody. I don't think Tom DeFalco's around to be doing anything like that anymore, but maybe Bob Harris if he's still floating around, but I don't see anybody in the wings that would be really good for it that they're likely to choose. So I'm guessing we're probably going to end up with either just Jim Lee running it, and he doesn't seem to have any particular interest in this. And I'm really concerned that they're going to name Bendis. Snyder's got good ideas, but man, that dude could not finish a book. He needs to write down all his cool ideas and give them to like Tinian and be like, here, make this happen. Because he's just, and then he doesn't know how to wrap things up. But I like a lot of his ideas. He just cannot wrap anything up to save his life. It's very rare that he ends anything well. Although I am going to admit I will buy the new Dark Knights. I kind of want to read that. I had a guilty love affair with the first Dark Knights metal. I don't know why. I just did. This would be a good time to remind everyone to subscribe to the channel and my other channel as well, because shameless shilling is a requirement for these kind of streams. So there's my channel links. And if you don't like your money and want to make it mine, I will throw in my Streamlabs as well. I'm going to have problems checking this stuff, so bear with me. I'm still kind of new to this streaming thing. It's all very complicated. I have too much going on. There's too many screens and buttons and stuff. So yeah, I don't know how this is going to work out. I think this could be a good sign or a bad sign. I think he probably just made too many changes that were negative for the company, and he was probably asked to leave, but we may never really know. My concern is more with how this is going to play out in the next couple of years with the 5G thing. If 5G tanks and they do a bunch of stupid changes, black-facing Batman, Lucius Fox, whatever. If they do all that crap that they had been talking about doing with the changes to the superheroes, the diversity hires, more of the same crap Marvel pulled a few years ago, they're done. They've already lost so much market share and lost so much money. I don't think AT&T will put up with it. I think they'll get shut down probably within a year or two because they're not going to want to spend the money. I don't think they have that kind of money to spend. So I think this could be a bad omen, but it could be good as well. So it depends who they hire to replace him. Like I said, if they don't hire anyone and they just keep Jim Lee running things, I'm going to take that as a bad omen. If they put somebody like Jeff Johns in, then maybe they have a little bit of faith, because it is good IP mine. They can farm a bunch of really good ideas and still produce stuff that will be able to be made into movies or video games later down the line. You don't necessarily want to get rid of something that's a tested format for another media. It's effectively storyboarding. Oh, thanks, Mike. Cool. Yeah, like, share, subscribe. You guys know the drill. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. I don't like Mr. DiDio, but I don't know that this is necessarily a good thing. He always just struck me as being kind of a piece of shit. So, and I think he looks like he smells like pee. Because, that face says I just peed myself. I just peed myself. He looks like a hobo right there. But now I'm just being mean. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this mess. I'm concerned this is going to go poorly. But I did want to do something else. This just kind of fell in everyone's lap today, and I thought it needed addressed, and I didn't want to wait till Wednesday to do it. Yeah, he does look like he'd fight bums. Hey, what's up, Pete? How you doing? So yeah, this is a major shakeup for the comic industry. If DC goes under, you're talking like a crippling effect on the stores, because Marvel is such garbage now. DC's the only really big publisher that's actually turning out some really good product. Marvel has so few good titles, they can't seem to actually move anything, and they have a very schizophrenic attitude on their own miniseries and their own books. They seem to forget about events halfway through them. So, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not going to get over this anytime soon. I don't know where this is going, but it doesn't look good. Oh, that's awful. Your LCS is withering. It's been around since 79. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, mine's not doing that good either. The one back home where I grew up, That one's doing pretty awful. They're trying their hardest, but the guys said, the books seem to change in quality month to month. So he's not sure how many to order because you'll have a great team on there one day, and then the next month it's just total trash because they're not consistent with the artists on the book. The artists do like every fourth book, and same with the writers. They seem to do these short little stints and then nothing, and they'll farm it out to somebody from like Fiverr or something. Hey TOS, how you doing? So yeah, I don't know how this is going to play out, but it does concern me because they are launching 5G. The first book is in the previews catalog that just dropped for May, so it's already going to go through from the look of it for the 5G stuff. So I don't know how they're going to handle this with him leaving right before a major event like that. Hey Della. So let's take a look at the previews catalog. Hopefully you guys are all into comics because we're going to nerd out hardcore here. So I wasn't too impressed with Image's offerings. The only one I really found particularly interesting was that they are reprinting Spawn 1. Spawn 309 is coming out, of course. But they're doing Image first, which means that they're reprinting issue 1, but it's also only going to be, let me find it here. Should time this a little better. $1. So if you missed out on Oblivion Song or Spawn issue 1s, $1 a piece in May. And I'm kind of excited about that because I haven't read Spawn number 1 in ages, and I don't want to pay retail for it. So $1, that's going on my list. Oblivion Song I already have, and if you like Kirkman's work on Walking Dead, you'll probably dig this one. It's pretty interesting. Philadelphia vanished into another dimension, and this guy jumps back and forth between that one and ours. Yeah, Mike, we're all hoping that Wally gets fixed, but it depends on who they bring in because they're probably just going to leave Diversity hire Wally, and real Wally's going to be destroyed, which is what it looks like. Everything else from Image, these were awful. I read a couple of those. I didn't even bother reviewing them. They were so bad. But most of the stuff isn't for me. I'm not real big on a lot of the stuff. Image, to me, just seems like kind of a mess. Savage Dragon's terrible. Scrolling down. Dark Horse Comics this time around didn't really have anything for me. So I didn't see anything there that I was particularly interested in. Aliens versus Predator Thicker Than Blood looked like it might be good, but I'm not paying $20 to find out. Now, IDW has the most awesome crossover possible. It's something for everyone, guaranteed to bring the kids in. And I'm not just talking about Terminator versus Transformers. I'm talking about, you guessed it, the one and only My Little Pony Transformers crossover miniseries. Because it's friendship in disguise. All 4 issues of this come out in May, apparently. And I'm going to buy this to review it because that is a crazy crossover. I thought Star Trek Transformers was a good idea. This is definitely going to bring some kids in. And I think that's a great thing. The art looks pretty solid. I think these are the regular artists on My Little Pony. But if you know a brony, tell them about this. IDW really needs the sales. But I really think this is a good thing because you'll get boys and girls to buy it. Plus, older fans of Transformers will want to read it just because it's Transformers. And it's Generation 1 Transformers, so they all look like they did in the 80s. I was never a massive Transformers nerd, so I don't really know a lot of the later stuff. But, oh yeah, if you're buying My Little Pony for your nieces, man, you'll want to check this out. This is brilliant move on IDW's part. They know how to do these crossovers pretty well, and they're usually decent. So I had a really fun time with Transformers Ghostbusters. G.I. Joe versus $6 Million Man, where they crossed it over with Dynamite, and that was a great miniseries. That was fantastic. The Star Trek Transformers was fun. So if you get a chance to check this out, I'm gonna take a risk on it because I think it'll be fun. So I'm gonna review these as soon as I get them. So hopefully they'll still be on the stands when I review them. In case they're good, I'll definitely be telling you all about whether or not Friendship in Disguise is worth checking out. But I hope they have a transforming My Little Pony. That would be phenomenal. So yeah, this blew me away because later on down on the list here, there's the other Transformers book that's coming out. There's a whole bunch of My Little Pony reprints, so something's going on with that. But you have Transformers Terminator, and this looks fantastic. I'm excited to get issue 1 of this. Issue 3 comes out in May, but check out that sweet cover because it's got Optimus and Megatron on his chest here, but it's crossing over with Dark Horse, which generally I'd be a little hesitant about. But David Marriott is a pretty decent writer. John Barber's okay. Tom Waltz is pretty good. And I think this looks like a really cool crossover. This is a bit more for me, but yeah, I think this is going to be a good miniseries. So I'm definitely going to check this out. Issue 1 should be coming out next month, I think. So be aware of that. That looks awesome. Let's see, what else did I have down? The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm planning on picking that up. I didn't see G.I. Joe: A Real American Hero on this month's list, so hopefully that didn't get canceled. But Ragnarok: The Breaking of Helheim. This has been a lot of fun. This is by Walt Simonson. He is doing the writing and the art, and I like his art style quite a bit. And if you ever read the Ragnarok series he did in Marvel's Thor, that was one of the best Thor stories ever, and probably one of Marvel's highest achievements in writing. So definitely check this out if you haven't. I think this is the last issue of this. Yeah. So I reviewed the first issue, and I've got reviews for the second and third issue done. I don't think I've posted them yet. So be aware of that one. The ROM reprints here are cool to see. They haven't done much with ROM, which really annoys me because he could be kind of the Superman of the IDW joint universe, because they did a shared universe with the Hasbro properties for a while. Now they've kind of backtracked on that and not really done much with them. So they've got ROM and Micronauts that they haven't done anything with. Same with Mask. But I would recommend these. These were fun. They weren't as good as the Marvel ones written by Bill Mantlo, but they were good. And ROM versus Transformers was pretty good too. Yeah, the Micronauts universe thing kind of fell apart, but I was enjoying that series. It wasn't the legendary or anything, but it was fun. And I'd like to see them do more with ROM. The Transformers books have been okay. I'm a little behind on them, so I don't know how they're doing right now. I'm actually several months behind, but they're all right. Usagi's been great. I like that series quite a bit, and they're doing this Color Classics, a 7-parter where they colorize the old stories. So if you're not familiar with the character, issue 1 of this, I think issue 2 is out as well. Of the color ones are out, and they've been really good. They'll give you kind of a run up to it. I don't think I read Transformers Zero, so yeah, I kind of like the idea of what they're doing because, like I said, I'm not a giant Transformers fan, so I don't have as much of the lore to be angry about. But what they were doing, building up with this like background stuff, looked interesting, but it's been dragging out kind of long, and I'd rather they just get to some cool explosions and robots fighting. So I think they're kind of dragging their feet a bit too much for my taste. I don't mind a little bit of politics stuff, but get to the point, you know? All right, so what else did I have from them? That's really the main ones. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I'd like to see them do a crossover with Transformers, but they haven't done that yet, as far as I know. The DC stuff, they're bringing back the Batman animated series as a miniseries. It's called The Adventure Continues. And I think is it written by Bruce Timm? I think it is. But this looks really awesome. I'm excited to see this. So this should be an all ages book from the look of it. So yeah, be sure and check this one out. This looks awesome. I'm definitely going to review that. There's a lot of good Batman stuff coming out. Dark Knight's Death Metal. Like I said, I'm totally picking this up. It's going to be such a goofy shit show. Look, mullet Superman. I don't know what's going on with Batman, but I'm sure it'll be cool. And Wonder Woman, I don't know what's going on there either, but I'll give it a shot. I had fun with the other one, so hopefully this will be good. DC's really kind of been working really hard to turn themselves into the travesty that is Marvel, especially with Aquaman. So hopefully they get their head out of their butt now and kind of step up their game. As far as Batman books, there's quite a bit coming out. I'm not going to buy any trade paperbacks right now unless it's something that I really, really want. But Batman Superman, I will be checking out. Let's see what else. Batman the Smile Killer. This looks like it might be pretty good. The Year One Deluxe. There's so many versions of Year One. I don't think it really matters. Batman's Grave, I'm going to pick up. I've been really liking that series. This is boring. This looks way cooler. And it's $1 cheaper. Because these card stocks, man, they're just not worth it. They're really nice quality, but the artists always just kind of trash on them. They are reprinting the Batman Adventures from the 90s that was based on the animated series. I really like that one. That's a great kids book. What's up, Costin? How you doing? So there's a lot of good Batman books coming out, but I don't know. It's more kind of it looks almost desperate at some point. You know, I mean, I think there's 6 Batman books out. Yeah. Then there's some DC classics coming out that are probably going to be okay. Or the dollar comics, rather. I'm not interested in most of these. These were from the time when I was not reading comics, and a lot of them I wasn't reading for a reason, other than crippling poverty. The Event Leviathan, just let it go, man. It's not going to happen. Okay, you can't make it a thing. Flash, I don't like Barry Allen. He should have stayed dead after Crisis and left Wally West as the Flash. Too many people grew up with Wally. Yeah, there are going to be some more Walmart books from what I understand. I think this one's got a Swamp Thing one in it. But those have been pretty good but you kind of have to track them down. I haven't found them in every Walmart. I've been looking out of like 10 Walmarts that I checked. They were only in like 4 of them. So I don't know if they're selling out, which hopefully they are. But you get a good value for the $1 for your $5 or $6. This Green Lantern facsimile edition is going to be awesome. That's a classic story. So I'm definitely picking that up to see if it's holding up. I think I think Quiz pitched that a couple weeks back. There's a big event for Green Lantern's 80th anniversary, but it's $10, so I'm not buying it. I don't want to buy a $10 book. Green Lantern Season 2, I'm probably going to pick up. I got to review the rest of Season 1 and the Black Stars thing. Hawkman, I'm definitely going to pick that up. I've got all of the issues. I just haven't had a chance to record reviews for them yet. Oh, stupid chat froze again. So Justice League looks pretty good. I think Venditti's going to be working on it. Yeah, Robert Venditti. He's been doing Hawkman, and he's a pretty solid writer. What's going on with his spine here, though? So I don't know if I want to invest in another book and take the chance. It looks like it might be an interesting story. I just don't care. Here's a Crisis. What a garbage fire. And what else we got here from DC? Man Bat. They're reprinting the old Man Bat book as a facsimile edition. This was a fun book back in the day. I love Man Bat. He's one of the funnest characters. Yeah, there's a new Shazam issue coming out, but it's just the variant cover and the regular cover. I'm pretty far behind on that one, but I liked it so far, but it's not blowing me away. This new Man Bat series might be okay, but I don't know if I'm going to pick it up yet or not. I will definitely pick up the facsimile edition because I remember liking that one. And like I said, I love Man Bat, so I probably will end up buying this, but it just sounds like it's going to be mediocre. It could be way more interesting. I'd kind of like to see Man Bat as a hero, like a Punisher anti-hero type, because as Kirk Langstrom, he's super smart. He's one of the smartest people in the DCU. And as Man Bat, he's got awesome bat powers. So he could be a really cool vigilante type character. So they need to do more with him. He's an interesting character overall. There's the new Shazam book. Superboy Prime is in here. Yeah. So, yeah, that could be good. I don't know, though. That cover, what is with that stance? That is, first of all, no. Second of all, what? That's not even symmetrical. And he is standing like he's about to do a gay porno. So I don't know what that's all about. The concept for the cover's fine, but this looks like there's something really freaky that just got done happening. So yeah, I'm pretty far behind on these, but it just I don't really know. I miss the old Marvel family. I miss him being called Captain Marvel, and now he's just Shazam. That's the word he says to transform. How's he supposed to introduce himself? That's kind of dumb. Just stick with Captain Marvel and the Marvel family. So, yeah, that kind of annoys me. I am not buying this garbage. More Tom King therapy journal crap. This cover looks okay. They're reprinting some of the old Super Friends stuff, but it's $70, so that's a little out of my league. Superman, I'm not buying that. Well, Bendis is on it. He can screw himself. He's been ruining Superman for a while, and they've done everything they can to justify all these dumb storylines. And they're getting Brian Hitch to do the cover, which depresses me because he's a really good artist. So now we get into Marvel Comics. I don't really have much interest in too many of these books. They're doing this Empire storyline with a whole bunch of one-shots and miniseries. None of them look very good. So I'm not going to buy any of that crap. If I get it for free at the comic shop, guy gives me a massive discount maybe, but no. This looks awesome. Amazing Spider-Man Facsimile Edition. First appearance of Morbius. Roy Thomas, Gil Kane. So we got some good art. This is back when Spider-Man had 6 arms for a minute. So I am excited to see this. I am looking forward to it because I used to have a copy of this and I had to sell it, and I regretted that for a long time. So I would gladly pay $4 to get it and not have to pay the exorbitant amount of money for a beat-up old copy. Phantom X did look pretty good. I might pick that one up. I think that character's got a lot of potential, but they never seem to do anything with him. Amazing Spider-Man's garbage. Atlantis Attacks is one of those that they forgot, I think they even were producing, because I haven't heard anything about it. The comic shop guy didn't even order it because he said nobody was interested in it. Cable might be good, but I'm real hesitant with the X books since they're effectively villains now. Oh, Rod Reese is a cool guy. Oh, that's good to know. This Children of the Atom looks really, really bad. I'm not paying money for that. Conan, it's dragging too much. I was enjoying it for a little bit, but not as much as I could justify $4 a piece. Same with Daredevil. It looks like the story's good if it was a TV show, but at $4 an installment, I'm just not that into it. Classic. Let's see. Doctor Doom, I'll probably pick that up. Story's been okay. The art's a little wonky, but whatever. If you haven't got the image in here by the time the catalog comes out, I'm probably not buying your book. More Empire crap, bunch of overpriced stuff I can't afford. Ghost Rider, I want to like it. It's been okay, but it's not $4 good. I might pick that up. Probably won't. Yeah, garbage feet. Hulk, I don't want to lecture. If I wanted that, I'd be married. Marvel Zombies, yeah, I don't care. I never liked those that much. They were okay. The Army of Darkness crossover was good, but the rest weren't that good. Power Pack, I don't care about. Punisher Soviet has been pretty fun so far. Ravencroft, I thought the first issue was okay. I'll probably keep picking this up. I might throw that on the Patreon. I don't know. Yeah, Slot's still on Fantastic Four, and I'm not buying that. So, yeah, there's Spider-Gwen. Come on, really? Who's buying that trash? Star Wars has been okay. I'll probably order this one. I'll give it through issue 6, and then I'll see if it's getting any worse or better or not. Well, let's see here. There's not much here that I really want to read. Sorry about the jumping on the screen there. I'm really bad with the mouse today. The Werewolf by Night Facsimile Edition. I really want to get this because I cannot afford to get Werewolf by Night number 32, and that's the first appearance of Moon Knight. So I've read reprints of it before in various trade editions, but it'd be nice to get a facsimile edition floppy of it and really be able to bust into it. So I'm excited for this one too. I'm more excited about their facsimile editions. How sad is that? They should be very sad too. Wolverine, I'm going to pick up the first issue. I don't know. I'm probably not going to pre-order it. Same with the X books. Looks like something interesting might be happening with them, but I doubt it. I'd be actually very interested to know where they're going with it, because my theory is if I was writing it, I would turn it more, since it's an ethno state of separatists, I would actually make it so that Krakoa is actually eating some of the pod versions of them because it lives off of mutant energy or some MacGuffin nonsense. I would make it so it's eating some of the clones, and Charles is keeping that quiet, and he's actually been sacrificing people and then resurrecting them, and nobody knows because he's not reimplanting that memory in there. That's what I would do, but that's just me. I also say that the island is controlling all of them through those flowers. This is a reprint of X-Men number 12. It's first appearance of the Juggernaut. I actually used to have a copy of this when I owned the comic shop, and I sold it for like $100, which I kind of regretted because it was a really cool issue, but it is very, very dated. But if you know some kids, these facsimile editions are awesome for younger readers, and I'm probably going to buy this. It's only $4, so that's worth it. So yeah, the X-Men stuff, usual level of quality. Dynamite, there's not much I was going to order from them except Deja Thoris and Death to the Army of Darkness, which actually could be pretty fun. The first issue's out. I haven't been up to the shop to pick it up yet, though. I wish I had done this YouTube stuff back when I owned the comic shop, because it would have been a lot easier. And then I won't have to pay for the books. But yeah, pretty cool idea. So it could be good. I'm hoping it is, but I'll probably pick up the entire miniseries and If I don't like it, well, I'll just live with the regret. Otherwise, Deja Thors and Army of Darkness are probably the only two I'm really interested in. This Complete Dracula looks awesome. That's the one Quiz pitched a while ago. I might pick that up at some point. Oop, wrong way. Boom Studios, Something is Killing the Children is the only one that I have any interest in. Beyond that, I got bored with the Buffy stuff. It seemed like it was okay, but it just didn't seem to be going anywhere. Now we get into like the random tiny publishers. Hope you guys aren't too bored with this, but I like going through the previous catalog to see all the stuff that I can't afford or will buy. Thank you, Pete, for the donation. I did this so you can not only to support you with a couple bucks, but you can see the dog smiling gif. How cool is that? Well, hopefully it came through. I haven't quite mastered how the layouts work on here. I would open an online comic book store, but that seems like a giant pain in the ass. They have a lot of hoops you got to jump through to do that, unfortunately. And Diamond is kind of an asshole. I should get rid of a bunch of my comics, too. But yeah, as far as these smaller press stuff, there's quite a few that I'm going to take a chance on. Like, oh, thankfully there's no boobies on here for these. This Monster Men looked pretty fun. I like American mythology. They don't tend to have the greatest artists, but they do have some pretty fun titles. They have the Zorro license and a couple other ones. And they do a lot of like public domain stuff too, but they've got all the kids' books like Casper and Laurel and Hardy and the Three Stooges. Some of the Three Stooges stuff is actually pretty fun. But like the Casper stuff is great kids fare. This Monster Men looks pretty good. They also did Volcanosaurus, which would make a great sci-fi movie. But it's about volcano Tyrannosaurus Rexes. Lone Ranger's over at Dynamite, I think. But that would be cool if they got the license at American Mythology. I think they'd do a better job with it. This Osiris Path looked pretty good. I'm going to pick that up. Shadow Man, I'll give it a chance, but they've been dropping the ball pretty heavily over Valiant. Although some of the new stuff has been good. A bunch of garbage. Blade Runner's been really good. I'm a little behind on that, but it's been pretty solid. Yeah, what else we got here? Shadow Man. Oh, the new Neon Future is back out. Man, that first series had some ideas you've seen before. It was written by like 5 people. Why? It doesn't take that many people to write such a tepid average thing. It might as well have been translated through like Google Translate. Yeah, I like Storm King's books. Storm King's been doing a lot of really good stuff. The John Carpenter books, I've really liked a lot of those. Kind of far behind on a few of them because I did get the rest of Nuclear Attack, which has been really good, but I haven't reviewed them yet. Robin Hood, I've been liking this series. Howard Mackey's been doing it, and he did Spider-Man back in the 90s, if you remember him. He's a pretty average writer, but these days that's like finding gold. And he's been doing a really good job on these Robin Hood series. I've been liking them. So if you're looking for something new, Xenoscope's a good one. They have really good artists. They know how to draw women. Look at that. There's boobs, there's ass, and it's proportional. So I dig that. I've been liking Xenoscope quite a bit. Oh yeah, I won't spoil anything for you, but yeah, definitely check out Nuclear Attack. That's been good. Soulfire, I'm probably going to try that one out. I did like Fathom, the last series, which I don't think I posted the rest of those reviews. The Stargazer looks pretty good. It's like an alien abduction story, and this one kid goes missing, and his friends have to figure it out. That could be good. Mad Cave's a little bit of a mixed bag. This one looked really good. Storm Kids Hybrids. This is actually by Louise Simonson. Cover art by Walter Simonson. Not his best work for sure, but Louise Simonson was a really solid writer back in the day. She used to do, I think she did Hawk and Dove for a little while, but she was always a pretty consistently decent writer. So I'm going to give this a chance just because she's writing the book. I know, right, Pete? So yeah, I'm going to check this out just because she's working on it. And Storm King's been pretty good to me, so haven't been too let down by any of the stuff they've done. Vlad Dracul, I'm going to give that a shot, I think. I don't particularly like Scout comics that much. They're very hit and miss for me, but that one, it's about Dracula. So, the real Dracula, not the fictional vampire. Bunch of garbage. Adler looked really dumb. Like, the concept was okay, but when I finally saw the actual first issue, it was disappointing. I've been a huge proponent of Alterna. Baron Rat and Mr. Crypt are fantastic characters, great kids fare. Airboy 52, I will probably pick that up because Chuck Dixon is writing it, and he wrote Airboy over at Eclipse, and I did like those back in the day. So I'll probably pick that up. It's only $6.99 for the regular one, but $10 for the other versions. If you backed it on Kickstarter or Indiegogo, you'll probably get it the week after it comes out in the store. Saw a lot of people complaining about that online. Psycho Co. is really, really good. That's another great all ages property. I thought it was pretty fun. I would definitely recommend this. This is the Giants. The Giants Collect the miniseries for $5. It's effectively a extended issue like the old 80 or 100 page books used to be. These are definitely a great deal. They're not trade paperbacks, but they're worth checking out. Yeah, Voidwalker issue 1 was pretty good. I haven't read issue 2 yet, but I'm looking forward to reviewing it. Archie, the lame versions. I've been liking some of the weird stuff they've been doing as far as, like, if you're looking for younger audience stuff that's fun, some of the Archie stuff's pretty good. Vampironic is a great teen book. What else we got? Bloodshot, that's been consistently good. Blood Realm, that's a good horror book. It's a very weird kind of surrealist thing. You'll read it in like 4 minutes, but it's pretty fun. And for the price, you really can't go wrong. It's $1.50. This Carson of Venus, Warlord of Mars was a massive disappointment. The art is freaking awful. Casper and Hot Stuff are consistently good. They're drawn in the old Harvey style, and it's really simplistic work, but it is consistently good kids material, and we need to get more young people into the hobby just so that the hobby will stay alive, especially if DC collapses. We're going to need younger audiences to come in. They are reprinting a lot of the Cerebus stuff, which is cool. High Society is one of the best ones. You'll need both volumes, though. So, yeah, get ready for some serious investment at $40 each. But I enjoyed these for what they were. Sumerian is actually a retelling of some of the old Conan stuff, but in a much more adult fashion. Uncensored, real Conan. They can't call it Conan because the estate of Robert E. Howard still has the trademark on the name Conan, so you can't put it on the cover. But if you're looking for a much more adult version, these Sumerian issues are pretty good. This new miniseries, Red Nails, is starting up. It's published by Ablaze, and I really like their vampire state building book. Gung Ho was a total travesty. That was garbage. But Vampire State Building was really good, and I think this one's going to be pretty solid. So I'm going to check this out. See, Cold Blood Samurai Volume 1. I highly recommend checking that out. That was a really fun book. And thank you for everybody for showing up. Be sure and hit like, share, and subscribe if I'm not boring you too much. Let's see. Deadly 10. These have been pretty good. These are by Full Moon Comics. Full Moon puts out a lot of low-budget, goofy movies, and they're usually pretty fun for a laugh. And the comics have been pretty solid overall. So I might check this one out. I'm not familiar with Hourglass, but I'll probably pick it up. I like reading some of the indie stuff. And more often than not, those have been pretty good. Dynamic Forces, to me, are just a waste of money. You never get your money back on these things, as far as I could tell. I know a lot of diehard collectors love it, but I'm just not that into that stuff. I'm usually just collecting storylines. Dr. Tomorrow, I'm planning on picking that up. I think issue 1's waiting for me at the shop. But some of the art looks like it's going to be terrible, but I'll give the first couple issues a chance. So I don't know if I'm going to pre-order this or not. I've heard Dryad's good, but I refuse to check it out because I think the art looks like garbage. Eternal Thirst of Dracula, I'm going to check that out. I've been reading a lot of horror stuff lately, and I don't know why. Final Witness, I'll probably check out the first couple issues of that. Fathom Volume 9's coming out. I'm definitely going to check that out because it's like an Aquaman book, but not written by Kelly Sue DeConnick. So get my Aquaman type fixed that way. I don't know what this is about, and I'm not going to bother looking it up. I don't know anything about a lot of these mangas, so I just don't particularly like the art style, so I tend to just avoid them because they're usually expensive to buy in, and I'm not willing to commit to that. Yeah, there's Gung Ho. Man, that book was awful. What a complete waste of money. A lot of this indie stuff is trash. Some of it's pretty decent, though. What else we got? In case you missed it, are these low price reprints of older stuff from Alterna. They're a great way to buy in and check out stuff you missed that's out of print. It's a really good way to do it, especially with these younger kids stuff. You can buy a comic for $1.25. You really can't go wrong there. I've heard these Iron Maidens are pretty good, but I haven't read them. John Carpenter's Vortex 2 looks like it could be really good. I'll probably check that out. A lot of porno comics with like Jungle Fantasy and Cave Woman. I can't believe Knights of the Dinner Table is still being produced. I don't know who's reading that still or how they know it's still being produced. Loggerhead, I don't know. That might be good, but it's Scout Comics, and I have a real hard time dropping the money on those kind of risks when they're so hit and miss. Metabarons, I remember a buddy of mine years and years ago really liked them. It looked like a 40K knockoff at the time, and I just never got back to it. I remember the concept seemed okay, and he spoke very highly of it. And I read a couple issues, but I don't remember anything about it. Ninja Sex Party sounds like a really cool heavy metal band name. Not much else really here in this middle area. A lot of these reprints seem really cool, but at $50 a go, I'm not willing to commit that kind of cash. I've got this Princess of Venus. I haven't read it yet, but that cover is trash. Rye has been pretty good. I've got to review those. Is Dan Abnett still on the book with issue 7? Because I'll definitely order it if he is. Yep, Dan Abnett. So I'll order that because I like him quite a bit. Oh man, yeah, waiting on any kind of stuff off Kickstarter, man. it's such a roll of the dice. These guys are so lazy with getting stuff out. It's very frustrating. Red Agent, I've got the first 2 issues to review here. I think the concept's fun. It's Little Red Riding Hood as a vigilante type secret agent. Looks pretty fun. And she's on the island of Dr. Moreau in this miniseries. So I'll probably round out the miniseries. There's some reprints of the Red Hood stuff. So it's about $20 to $30 for the buy-ins on those. I would just look for back issues. You probably get it cheaper. There are a couple of ones that I know were originally like Indiegogos that are being reprinted. Everglade Angels by Blake Northcott. I think she's a young adult author. She did a Indiegogo, and it's being reprinted in April. I think the first issue comes out because issue 2 is being solicited in this one. So if you missed that one, yeah, you can get the single issues. This Shang looks pretty good. Zenoscope's been doing some pretty good books. He teams up with Mulan in this miniseries. It's only a 3-issue miniseries, so I'll probably pick that up. Not interested in Silent Invasion. It was never that interesting to me. Or Snowpiercer. That movie was dumb. Had an interesting concept, but poor execution. Super Babes. If you like cheesecake stuff, it's okay. And then you get all your weird Japanese romance books. Not my thing. They sold really well for me at the comic shop, but I didn't understand why at all. Like, that confused me heavily. But yeah, I couldn't keep that stuff on the shelves. Like, the 12 to 15-year-old girls love that stuff. I'd buy them like months behind for like $1 a piece from Diamond, and sometimes I think I bought a case of the one series that was like 10 cents per book because they were just blowing them out, and I got like $5 a piece out of them. They were a great moneymaker. Look at that. That looks stupid. What kind of stupid cover is this? What about this cover says "Buy Me"? Huh? What kind of selling point is that? That is horrific. If you saw that in a bathroom, you'd think the dude was soliciting you, or he's gonna axe murder you in the bathroom. But I guess this book has a following of some kind. I don't know what the target audience is, though, because the art looks like trash and it's Mags Visaggio, so there's going to be lots of word bubbles over explaining everything, which is Mags' giant weakness. This Van Helsing versus League of Monsters looked pretty good. I'm going to pick that up, or the first couple issues, so I'll probably pick that up. Visitor was trash. Don't even waste your money on that. That was just such a dumb book. These war stories look pretty interesting, but again, no cover image, so it means it's probably going to be late. White Widow, they need to get on the ball with that because that one actually has potential if they don't get their butts sued. But they're way, way behind schedule with it. The 13, I liked that miniseries. It's Alterna. So for $2, I'll take the chance. Exo Man of War, I'm going to try that book out. So I'll probably order the first 4 or 5 issues of that. It's got a lot of potential. They got a new team on it that might be good. Yokai Watch has got a new book coming out in the States here. The Zorro books, I'll definitely check out. The Galleon of the Dead. What a great concept. They've been doing all this cool stuff with Zorro over at American Mythology. No, he just looks homeless. But yeah, he's been fighting undead. He fought the old gods. In Rise of the Old Gods, they did a different undead book a little while back. And this Galleon of the Dead looks really fun. So I like that they're doing cool, innovative stuff with Zorro since they've got the license. And I'd like to see more of that. It'd be kind of cool to see a crossover with Zorro and like John Carter, since they do have some of the John Carter type stuff American mythology because some of it's in the public domain. So having a Zorro crossover would be pretty sweet. And they could use Carson of Venus because they've got him too. So that would be kind of cool, but I don't think they're going to do it. But I would totally buy it. So, but I've liked their Zorro stuff. It's been pretty solid. As far as books go, it's a lot of garbage. The magazines, I don't really get into too much, but there's a cool back issue book coming out. It's what number is it? 121. And it's a Conan dedicated issue. And I like the old Marvel series from Conan because Roy Thomas did a lot of it, and Barry Windsor Smith. Barry Windsor Smith is a kind of a strange artist because his art style evolved in a weird way by the time he got to Rune at Malibu. But it's got a really unique look to it. And I think I might check this out just to see some of the articles and stuff, like the old knockoffs, like RX Son of Thunder, Warlord, and some of the others. I love Warlord. That was such a fun book. If you want to see a superhero bum, Pete, be sure and check out my books on Amazon. That's the Variant Mythos. Check that out. So, yeah, I'm probably going to check this out. So, because they're talking about the old Conans, and I like those. So, yeah, that's the May previews. I don't think they have the action figure. I didn't go through the action figure stuff too much. But usually that's all vastly overpriced. Look at that, $90 for that. Come on. I can't afford that. And I'm probably not going to buy any of the action figures. As far as the games go, usually they have cool games, but I get them cheaper off of some of the other sites. And, of course, Amazon. So I don't usually go through my comic shop for that. But, yeah, that's what May looks like. There's a lot of books. I'm planning on buying at least 46 books that I've prioritized. And it'll probably be closer to 50 or 60. So I got to step up my review game a little bit. I'm already pretty far behind on a lot of stuff. But I just kind of wanted to go over what reviews you can expect for the month of May and what I'm thinking about reviewing. If you see anything in here that you want me to review, let me know. Unless it's expensive, because I don't have that kind of money. So if there's like a $50 book you want me to review, yeah, my Streamlabs is going to drop in the chat. So, yeah. Otherwise, the big news really is Dan DiDio leaving DC and what the future of DC might be after that. Because that's going to make things pretty interesting. Hopefully they don't shut down DC. That would be really a big bummer. Although it probably would increase the market share for IDW. IDW's been doing some really good stuff lately. I've been really liking a lot of their stuff. And the Transformers Terminator and Transformers My Little Pony crossovers look awesome. So I'm super psyched for those. Those are probably the two biggest books that I'm looking forward to, really. Some of the Batman stuff's been really good. The regular Batman book is finally awesome again. Tinian's been doing a great job. I haven't read the new issue yet, so I don't know about that, but I've been hearing good things from the guys at the shop. So hopefully that continues. Oh. You're the man. Thank you, Fatty057, for the donation. That's awesome. Appreciate it. So, yeah, I'm probably going to wrap this up. Just wanted to kind of go over the news of the day and the new previews catalog. I like going through the catalog quite a bit, wish fulfillment, that sort of thing, and seeing what's coming out. So I thought might as well do it with you guys and see if anybody's interested in any specific book they want me to review so I can order it and I will try and review it. So thanks for coming, and thanks for the donation, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll drop the channel links one more time in case you missed them. And thanks for coming out. I'm going to try and do streams occasionally. I'm hoping to do them like once a week, just little stuff like what's coming out and kind of go over what I'm thinking about picking up and why, and explain why I'm reviewing the books I am. So hopefully this wasn't too boring, and we could try it again next time. In the meantime, thanks for coming, and we hope to see you on the next one. Bye, everybody.